Goldylocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Any dark energies or unnecessary and unwanted energies that are here to be cleared through the phone lines, through the internet, through microphones, through cameras, through all of those things. Aho mitakiasi. Aho. That we would be cleared and I would be a clear channel of a message, a good and sacred message and a healthy message and a healing message that the world needs and you need to hear. Aho. And I need to share. Aho. So I'm burning a little sage, clearing out the room, and welcome everybody again to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. Aho. So, I got to tell you, this last weekend I was in Sedona, Arizona, and talk about a beautiful and a blessed place. There isn't any other place that I would rather be, I think, in the world right now. I am going to be moving there pretty soon, and I'm going to be doing my work from that beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous space, that sacred space. And I've already made connections there. There's a woman named Mina Watkins who is she's a life coach, and we're working together to create events, which we're already planning for the 21st of December for the winter solstice, which is going to be preceded by my new moon event on December 17th at the Church of Truth Center of Awakening Consciousness at 6 p.m. in Pasadena. You can go to my website and you can see that, or you can find that at Eventbrite. That's going to be $20, and you can. That's going to be a great event. So it's going to be setting intentions and letting go of those things that we no longer need. Aho mitakiasi. Aho. Well, all right. So I want to tell you something. Well, we'll stay on the subject of Sedona for now. So Mina Watkins is amazing. She was my host for the weekend, and I got to tell you, I have had the roughest 2 and 3 years of my life. My producer knows that. A lot of you already know that. But because I've had those tough times, I keep walking. I am the tree that's rooted and fruited, and I don't get knocked down by the 4 winds. And what are my 4 winds? If you're here in California today, in the Los Angeles area, the winds have been blowing up to 80 miles an hour, and there's wildfires in 4 different places, and one of those wildfires is about 2 miles from me. So it's been a little uncomfortable, but I'm still here. I'm still broadcasting. I'm still doing what Anthony needs to do, no matter how the landscape looks, no matter what happens, no matter what happens, no matter what happens. So saying that, when I went to Sedona, I was held and I was cared for by my friend Mina. I was held and cared for by her friends who we went hiking with. I was held and cared for by the community, by the land, by the earth, by Grandmother Moon, the full moon, Aho. And we went out for a walk on a Saturday night to Cathedral Rock. We used no flashlights, no cell phones to find our way. We found our way through the blue light of that beautiful Grandmother Moon. Aho! What an experience! What an experience! I gotta tell you. And some friends showed up with us, and we sat under blankets, and we stargazed, and we talked, and we joked, and I sang a song, and I drummed, and brought in spirits, like I need to bring in spirits in Sedona, and then I sang them back when we were done, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience for all of us. Aho, aho. But more than anything, what I'm talking about is being held and trusting. Aho. Funding for me isn't readily available to do a lot of things, so I'm working through in a way that that's available, and I do it anyways. What does it look like to you? I don't know, but it looks like full production to me. You know what I mean? So so what? So life shows up and I do it anyways. Aho. I put gas in the car and I go, and I just have an amazing, amazing experience going, being there, and then the return home, the things that I see, the skies that I come across, and hot air balloons and different animals. And we even came across a herd of javelinas, which are wild boars. And I got to learn the significance of that power animal, that spirit animal, Aho. And speaking of spirit animal, today's first card today, when I pulled the animal cards, was the fox, adaptability. And adaptability is what I'm good at. Adaptability is what I do. Adapt. I'm Crow. I'm an alchemist. I'm a shapeshifter. When things change, I change. And that's how I move forward. Aho. Aho. So, how do you move forward? How can you move forward? I just seem to do it. Aho. So, but what I was saying, the fox, the fox is always having to shift direction. When it's winter, when it's summer, they move, and when they're hungry, they go and eat. When a bigger animal shows up, they split and they take off. There's adaptability. They're gonna take time to survey the land and do what they need to do, just like I do. Aho. So today, I'm carrying fox medicine. Aho. So also, and I'm going to say this, Pelican showed up, forgiveness. Let go of the judgments. The judgments of what? What are the judgments that I'm carrying today? What are the judgments that you are carrying today that you keep saying that you've let go of or you dealt with, but you really haven't? You swept them under the rug. And then when somebody says something to you, the hairs on the back of your neck and your spine stand up, and you're ready for a fight or to go into defensive mode. Do you need to be in defensive mode? Aho. I'm here to tell you, you don't. You don't need to be in defensive mode and in judgment. Aho. Other people's issues in their tissues are none of my business. So if they're none of my business, they're none of yours. Until you ask me, until you come to me as a healer or a medicine man or whatever title you want to give me, aho. Body, mind, spirit, transformational mentor, aho. You are none of my business. So I let go and I forgive in those things, in those ways that you should too. And we will learn how to do that. And you will have that same medicine, and you can too. So that's Pelican. And Dove, serenity. Slow down, pause, and breathe. Yes. Today I've been watching the broadcast for the wildfires. I never watch television, but there's a lot that I have to do right now. And you know what? My asthma has been really active. My asthma, I believe, has been really active because I was in Sedona and I was loved by a friend, Mina. I was loved from my friend, Angela, who I stopped to see in Phoenix. And it affects my heart. It affects the love that I have for them. Aho. And I start to clear out the old junk, the old mucus, the old stuff that I don't need to be carrying around that I've been carrying around for who knows how long. Aho. It comes and it goes and it comes and it goes. Aho. Sometimes I feel lonely and I want closeness with somebody. Well, that's not always going to happen. But it happened this weekend in a beautiful, beautiful way. I got to drum on the rocks at the Coffee Pot Monument with Mina and another friend, Tiffany. And that was an amazing experience. And then Saturday night, I got to meet a whole bunch of people. Or was that Friday night? Friday night, I got to meet a whole bunch of people who at a wine bar, and I don't drink, and I got to dance and enjoy myself and meet other healers who do what we do. Aho. So I went and I became willing to shapeshift. I became willing to be at peace with what I'm doing and where I'm going. Aho. And my life unfolded like the flower unfolds, like the wings of the butterfly unfolds when it comes out of the chrysalis. Aho. When it pokes through that membrane. Aho. And I got to shapeshift, and I get to change direction, and do the things in the way that I want to do them and that are comfortable. And if they're not comfortable, guess what? It changes over time, even if I'm not involved with it. It will change over time. Aho. I want to remind you that you're listening to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And I am your host, Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. And the call-in number is 713-955-0332. Feel free to call in. Feel free to call in and ask a question. Get a healing. Get a reading. Tell me what you think about the subjects that I'm talking about, because I'm sure you have an opinion. I'm sure you have well, maybe not an opinion. I'm sure you feel something about what it is I'm talking about, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Because good, bad, or indifferent is none of my business. My business is only to be here, present, right here, right now, and vibrate a message out that is good in the way that I do things. Because I don't know in the way that you hear things or feel things or understand things. That's not my business. Aho, mitakiyasi. Aho. Right, Tiffany, producer? And I want to thank my producer, Tiffany White Sage Woman, because I'm going to tell you, I've been preparing for to do this live video broadcast for quite some time. As a matter of fact, I'm recording it from my other computer. You know, I'm seeing myself, and maybe I'll post this later on. So, anyways, you know, and I want to thank Tiffany, because she not only works with me, but she works with many, many other mediums and psychics and healers and light workers, you know. And she's a light worker herself. And she has a family. And she has an extended family. And she has friends of all kinds. So, you know, she's a busy, busy woman. And and what she gives to us is a place to be held. So we can hold space for you. She holds space for us so we can hold space for you. And that's a beautiful thing. Aho. You know, Creator Great Spirit wasn't playing when he made Tiffany White Sage Woman. I'm telling you. Aho. And thank you, Mr. Tiffany White Sage Woman, and Tiffany's husband. I don't know his name, so that's what I'm going to call him, Mr. Tiffany White. Anyways, thank you, and we're grateful. I think I speak for all the people on Goldylocks Productions when I say that we're grateful. Aho, I'm grateful. Aho. So, you know, I have to tell you, we are in the time of Mercury in retrograde. Have you been paying attention? In the time of that full moon, aho, that full supermoon brought in the energy of Mercury in retrograde. And so what, chicken butt? That's right. So what? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to run around Chicken Little and create, pardon my French, chicken shit out of Chicken Little and be blaming things and, you know, stop living your life because you're afraid to do something, because you think you shouldn't make decisions for your life? Aho. This is the time to make decisions. This is the time to move forward, to step into your root and step into your fruit and be in your foundation and allow it to grow as deep as possible so you become the tree that doesn't get knocked down by the four winds. Aho, can I get an amen? That's right. Be the tree that doesn't get knocked down by the four winds. I'm telling you, I'm on fire today. I have been on fire since I got back from Sedona. On my social media, just on my Facebook page alone, I received 20 friend requests since I've been back. 20. And it's amazing because they're interested in this show. They're interested in the live TV broadcast. They're interested in transformational sacred drum medicine, in drum making and energy healing and everything that is that I have to offer. And that is a blessing. Aho. Aho. I know that I have been on the right track for the right reasons. And Anthony deserves to do the things that he does. And it's been a tough road. It has, everybody knows it's been a tough road. I have lost everything that was Maic energy, that was material. There is no Maic energy left in my hands to hold on to. None. And you know what? It's okay. And I have moved into the home of my teenage years. And, you know, I get to be present for my mother, who's now 80 and feeling everything in her body, you know, that's starting to let go of her. I'll say it that way. And we're taking her to doctors and we're taking her to appointments and we're driving her here and driving her there. And she's in a place where she just, you know, needs to be taken care of and she needs to be comfortable, you know, and that's okay. That's okay. I get to be here and I know that she likes having me here. I can tell, you know, and I get to be in a relationship with my older brother who's been living here for 8 years with her, taking care of her and, you know, doing what he does. And that's a gift too. That is a pure gift and it's a pure joy to be in the home of my youth. It's a little odd sometimes because it's uncomfortable for me. I'm used to being on my own and living someplace else, and I'm in the San Fernando Valley here in Los Angeles. It's a suburb of Los Angeles. Blah, can't even talk. And I don't like the valley, but here I am. But I'm surrounded by smoke today, and I'm surrounded by fire. But I'm also surrounded by earth, water, and air. That allows that fire to burn. Allows it to burn. And I talk about those things when I come into my body with my breath. And since I've been back, I've been meeting a lot of people who've been finding me, and I've been able to take them into some breath work and show them exactly how that breath that they don't take into their body fully, once they take it in, they get to stoke that fire and allow that fire to grow and burn and get bigger and bigger, and allow yourself to allow that fire to boil the water in your second chakra. Boil the water after you pull it into your body through the lungs, not into the lungs, through the lungs, heart space, air, love, I'm loved. Into the third chakra. Into your third chakra. Do you know the chakra systems? The super highway of energy that runs through your body? From foot to head and out. Connected to Mother Earth, connected to the universe, Creator, Great Spirit, through the crown chakra. And through the feet of Mother Earth. Her volcanic energy, that lava energy that flows under the ground in the core from Mother Earth, that bubbles upward, the energy that bubbles upward. And we tap into that energies when we take breath in through our lungs, to our third chakra, to the place of fire, fuego, I can, I will, I do, I am. I am the I am that I say I am. Esteem, it's our will center. And as we take that breath and we close our eyes and we watch that fire get bigger, and we take another breath and we stoke it and we let the air out and we take the air in, that fire boils out water in the second chakra. The second chakra is a place of emotion. It's where we connect to others. It's where we're birthed. It's where the divine feminine and the divine masculine come together to create to create a new being, to create a new creature. Another part of humanity. It's water, it's darkness, it's direction of the west, direction of the woman, direction of Grandmother Moon, 28-day cycle, letting go. Second chakra is the divine feminine, where the divine feminine lets go from. It's autumn, fall, darkness. We are birthed in darkness. We are birthed in water. And that water starts to boil as we take that breath through our lungs into our fire, fuego, I can, I will, I do, the third chakra. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the water starts to boil and it starts to overflow into our root chakra. And it waters that root chakra. And our roots grow. Our ground grows. And we become more in earth, in our foundation, in who and what we are. I am here. Our root chakra says that we are here. I am here and you cannot knock me down four winds. And then that fire is still burning big, and we take another breath and the fire gets bigger and the water boils more, and we starts to steam and move upward into our heart space, and it starts to warm our heart. Not just steam, but esteem. Spell it any way you want it. E-S-T-E-A-M. E-S-T-E-E-M. And it opens up our fifth chakra, and that holy vapor opens it up, and we allow ourselves to come out of the darkness of our thinking, of our third eye, the stinking thinking of the spinning of the story, and we start to tell our truth, and we start to speak our soul. We start to come down into the likeness of our being. Are you ready to come into the likeness of your being? Woo-hoo! I am. I sure am. 713-955-0332 is a call-in number. Call in and get you some, or give me some. Whatever the case might be, let's do this. Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. I am Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and I am here for you to help you transform, transcend, transmute, and transition. And as you start to speak your truth, as the esteem rises, warms your heart and rises to your fifth chakra, you start to type those things, write those things, text those things, and message those things, because the fifth chakra, the hands, the elbows, the wrists, the forearms, and the shoulders, and the collarbone, and the voice box, and your chin, and your cheeks, and your teeth, and your tongue, those are all fifth chakra, and they're for vibration. They are for vibrating out. Good. Great. Vibrate out. Let go. Let good. Vibrate out. Let go. Let God. Do you believe in a God of some sort? And if you say, I'm an atheist and I don't believe in that stuff, I don't believe in anything, then you believe in something because you believe that you don't believe. How about that? That's right. So, are you willing? Are you willing to come into your fire? Are you willing to come into your fuego? Are you willing to come into I can, I will, I do? Oh, are you willing? I became willing because my life was stuck for a lifetime. For a lifetime. And at the tender age, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this at all. At the tender age of 50, my life changed and transformed, and I began to transcend and transition and transmute into the man that you're listening to right here, right now. Aho. Aho. And I have been blessed by many who have gone before me, who have come behind me, who stand next to me and walk with me. And even those who don't know me, aho, they have known of me because I have known of them, and I've never heard their voice. I've never heard their name. I've never seen their soul. But I know. I know because I'm here. Aho. So I speak to those cards. I speak to the fox. I speak to the pelican. Adaptability, forgiveness, and serenity. And I live in peace. Do you want to live in peace? Are you busy stressing about the bill that you got to pay next week? I got to pay bills too, but guess what? Those bills are not going to go away. And neither is my serenity because I need to be at peace. Everybody's freaking out right now and spending money that they don't have on Christmas. Is that necessary? Give yourself to yourself for Christmas. Wrap a ribbon around your wrists. Red ribbon. Ground, earth, aho. Or a yellow ribbon, fire, fuego, I can, I will, I do, aho. Or a green ribbon, heart, lungs, air, I love, I'm loved, aho. Or a blue ribbon. Or what's the color for the third? Lavender, or whatever the color is for the third eye. Or the white or gold for opulence, for your seven chakra, and wrap them around your wrist, and take your wrists in your hands and hug yourself and say, I am giving you freedom. I am giving you peace. I am giving you serenity. I am giving you permission to love you because you have not learned how to love you. You have been busy trying to get love from somebody else who doesn't know how to love themselves. Aho. I have said on this show, I have spoken on this show, and I have said, I am not a product of love. I am a product of desperation. I truly believe that my parents were desperate. That's why they found each other. My father had a rough, tough childhood and life. He was an alcoholic. He suffered greatly. And I'm sure he wanted somebody to love him. And he found that somebody. It was my mother, who probably had an interesting upbringing too. And she wanted somebody to love her, or at least to feel loved, because I know a lot of us growing up in our homes don't feel loved. Those words are never said, and it's never shown. The fact that you're here is, hey, you're lucky you're here, buddy. But the reality is there's a lot to be said for reaching out and looking to somebody. And I call it desperation. Looking at the dangling carrot of desperation and having a spoken and unspoken expectation of that person when you come together is not a way to live. And then somebody like me is brought into the world who really has a tough time growing up. And I get all the wrong messages and I get all the wrong tools, but here I am now. I get to shed my life of those things. As carrying the snake medicine, I get to let that skin go. Aho, aho. Having wolf medicine, I am protected by the wolf. I am no longer lonely. I am no longer alone. Sometimes I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. But wolf is solitary, and wolf needs pack. Aho, and I have a tribe. I have many tribes, and they're not just across the city, across the street, across town. They're across the state, across this country, around the world, across oceans, a whole north, south, east, and west. Direction, medicine wheel, a whole, the 4 directions. And that's how I live. I live in the power of that. Do you want to live in the power of having a worldwide tribe that holds space for you? A whole. A whole. Today I saw a message from Georgia Jans, who lives in Australia, and she landed in Los Angeles today at LAX, and I sent her a message saying, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't be there to greet you. I would have loved to have been able to see you and greet you, meet you in person, but she's going to New York. She's moving on today, but she says she's going to be back in the week, and on the 17th, she's going to be back in Los Angeles, or on the 18th, and she'll be back prior to that, but she's, I'm going to see her on the 18th and probably get together on the 18th or 19th and break bread with her and give her a hug and welcome her to this land, to this place where I am a whole. And, and someday I'll go to Australia and she'll do the same thing. Or I'll go to Auckland, New Zealand, or I'll go to down to Oaxaca, Mexico, where I have friends, or up to Vancouver, or over to Connecticut, where our beautiful, lovely Miss Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman resides. Who knows? Or Austin, Texas, where my friend Tanya lives. Or back to Sedona. Or wherever. They are everywhere. And I am held in good esteem. And I hold them in great esteem because we are loved and we loved each other. Not for what we give to each other, but for who we are and who we can be. A whole. In and of ourselves. Not having to reach for the dangling carrot. A whole. Not having to reach for that dangling carrot. Oh, what a lonely life that is. Always trying to live up to unspoken and unspoken expectations. I did that for a lifetime. And guess what, booby? Booby. I just went to Brooklyn. I don't have to do that anymore. I no longer have to do that anymore. Excuse me a sec. Let me get some water. 713-955-0333. Let me try that again. 713-955-0332 is the call-in number. Call in and ask a question. Call in and get a healing. Call in and find out how you too can transcend, transform, transmute, and transition into the life that you've always wanted and never, ever imagined. Or if you imagined it, you imagine it for somebody else and not for you because you didn't feel like you deserved it. You deserve everything you want. Be the gift. Be present with yourself, with the present that you are, a whole. Be the Christmas present for and of yourself, a whole. And give that to the world. Give that love of self that you develop and you find. Have it for you and then turn around and give it to the world and extend your hands and extend your arms and vibrate out good and loving intentions because you are the intention that I just mentioned. Aho! You are the intention. Aho! How beautiful of a gift is that? That it brings me to tears when I talk about it. Because right now, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling my heart space. Aho! I know. I have a friend named Ian Morris who a lot of you are familiar with. And Ian Morris called me one day and he said, hey, Anthony, I had a dream about you and I. I said, yeah, what's going on? He says, I had a dream that you and I were going to walk the Camino de Santiago in Spain. I'm like, cool. Let's do it. Let's go do that. And Ian and I have only spoken over the phone over the last couple of years. And we have a business relationship, and we have a healing relationship, and we have a soulful relationship. We have a brotherhood relationship, and and we're healers, and we're healed, and we're healing, and this is how things are done. You say yes. I say yes to everything that comes my way. Aho. I am willing and have become willing to say yes. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to me. Say yes to a lifetime of saying no, aho, to yourself. Have you spent a lifetime of saying no to yourself, denying yourself, telling yourself that you're not good enough, that I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too black, I'm too white, I'm too brown, my lips are too thin, my lips are too big, my right? You know, stop telling yourself those things and step into the light. Aho! Put your feet on the ground. Take your shoes off when you go outside and find yourself a patch of grass. Find yourself a grandmother to stand on, a beautiful smooth stone, or a rough, grumpy old grandfather that's rough, and put your feet on him, put your butt on him, put your hands on him. Find a grandmother tree that you can hold and sit in that circular energy that flows through the trunk, through the branches, down through the roots, and you can stand within it and be grounding and grounded and be in your soul and know that you are held by something that never sees itself and only sees you a whole. Did you hear what I said? A tree, a grandmother tree, whether it be a palm tree, a walnut tree, cottonwood tree, a stalk of bamboo, a pine. Trees never see themselves. Trees never see themselves. They see all the other trees and they see what's happening around them and they reach out. They reach out and they reach up into the heavens and out into all directions, a whole. And they will hold us. They will hold us. Oh. Do you want to be held? And do you want to be the holder of the keys of life? Oh. What are the keys of life? For me, the keys of life are earth. The keys of life are fire. The keys of life are water. And the keys of life are air. Those four elements flow through me. And I live for those, with those, and in those. Aho. And you can too. What are you talking about, Anthony? What do you mean fire, air, ground, and earth? What? Or water? What are you talking about? Listen. Listen to the silence when you're alone in a canyon. And listen to Mother Earth speak to you as those winds blow through the canyon. Listen to the sound of the bushes rustle. Listen to the sounds of the wings of the birds as they take off into flight or as they chirp. Listen. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, on your cheek, as you sit there on the rock and you listen to the silence and the sounds of silence and what that is to you. What does it become to you? It has become something to me. And what it has become to me, it has become a part of my soul, my innate soul, and the innate plan that Creator Great Spirit had for me eons ago, lifetimes ago, lineages ago, and lifetimes to come, lifetimes to go, and lineages to come as well. Meanwhile, I stand in the center of where I am right here, right now, and I stand in the balance and the beauty of who and what I am. It has been a hard road, people. Let me tell you, it's been tough. But there ain't nothing tougher than standing still and not doing anything about it. Whining and complaining about why your life is the way it is and why other people have what they have and, obsessed with materialism when materialism is going to go away. And I'm sorry to say this, but I heard a guy say this about, he lost his house this morning. His house burned down and he said, it's okay. I'm going to get a new house. We are okay. We are okay. I'm going to have a new house. I love that sort of optimism. That's an optimistic soul that I want to get next to, that I want to move to, that I want to learn how to be like. And he showed me that lesson today as he stood in front of his burned out house. Burned down to the foundation. The only thing left standing was the fireplace. The fireplace. Did you hear what I said? The fireplace. Yes. Manifestation starts in the direction of the east, direction of grandfather sun, direction of fire, fuego. I can, I will, I do. Springtime. Springtime. New beginnings. I heard him clearly. And some people may think, oh, what a jerk. He's just being, no. He was a blessing to my ears and to my soul. And I'm going to tell you, I no longer hear with my ears the way that I used to. I don't hear with my ears. I don't see with my eyes, and I don't speak with my mouth. I hear, see, and speak through my heart space. My heart space is where I live. My heart space is where I feel. My heart space is where I completely stand with Anthony J. Rodriguez, Walking Crow. How amazing a life have I had that I get to share my fruit with others who nest in my branches. And they eat of my fruit and they say, me too. Me too. They have a Me Too experience, and they understand that their life has shifted and is shifting. You know, I said the other day in a video, was it Monday or I don't even know what day? There's so many things happening right now. I talked about flying without a net, and as I flew without a net, then a net appeared. Because I became willing to fly without the net, to jump out of the nest, to jump out of the tree, to jump off the cliff into the ocean, into the water, into the quiet pool. And I began to fly. And I was held by the air. I was held by the sun. I was held by the tree that I stood on. And I was held by earth. I was held by the water. And here I am. Wow. What a powerful, powerful time. Mercury's in retrograde, and I'm thumbing my nose at it. I'm going to Sedona. You know, I rescheduled my Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Workshop for March. And I think I'm going to actually book one in Sedona as well, because the one I booked for March is here in Los Angeles. It's $150 to make your own drum over a 2-day period. 4 hours over 2 days. We're going to do ceremony. You're going to learn how to set intentions with the drum frame. You're going to learn how to soak the skin and what that entails, and the ceremony that goes with that, because you don't just take a drum. And we're going to have conversations about why you think you need a drum and why you would want a drum. A drum is powerful medicine. And I have to tell you, everywhere I go, my drum goes. And anybody who has come in contact with me in other parts of this city, this state, this country knows, because it rides in the back of my car. And when I get there, it goes up the mountain with me because I attach it to my medicine bag. It's going to go. So I'm going to ask you why you want a drum, a sacred drum. That medicine is powerful. Do you know what that means when you have that drum? It's just not something to hang in your house, because you can afford, a drum or 5 or 6 drums. I know people like that who have a house full of drums on the walls have their tags on them and they're cracking, and they never use them. I don't understand that. It's a powerful medicine. And somebody just didn't give me a drum. Actually, that's not true. Somebody actually gave me a drum after I made my drum, because they knew that I would make use of that drum. And I have used it. I use it in ceremony. And I use it in teaching of others. And I use it of giving myself that vibration when I journey, when I'm alone and by myself in my space. And I want to do that sort of thing. I use that drum. It's not for decoration. And if that's what you want it for, don't get a drum and don't sign up for this workshop, because that's not what this is for. Step into the power of who and what you are. Step into the power of your medicine. Step into the power of where you're going. What you want to give to others with that vibration. Heartbeat. Heartbeat. Vibration. Om. Om. Oh. 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 The heartbeat of Mother Earth, the sound of Gaia, Pachamama, Madre Tierra, Aho, Mater, Mother, Aho. Aho. You know, I use Mater, Mother, and Gaia. I saw my friend Angela, Jean Hartnett, on Friday on my way to Sedona. We had lunch. And we did ceremony. We went across the street. You know, a catty corner to where we had lunch. There was actually in the middle of that intersection in Arizona, in Phoenix, there is a medicine wheel. We didn't realize it until after we crossed back across the street. But anyway, so we went across and did ceremony across the street. And she always reminds me, and she brings me back to center if I'm off kilter just a little. She brings me back to center because she talks about first medicine, water. Water, H2O. First medicine. She reminds me about earth. She reminds me about air. And she reminds me about fire. She reminds me about elemental prayer and saging. Aho. You know, and I love having that sort of balance in the direction of the West. Aho. And we talked about that when we did ceremony, how she was the energy, the direction of the West, and I am direction of the East, the divine feminine and divine male. And the understanding that I am the duality of those two things. And so is she, the duality of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Aho. And we come together and we share that energy, just like the grandmother tree. We share those energies of the divine balanced duality. Aho, divine feminine, divine masculine. Powerful, powerful stuff. 713-955-0332 is a call-in number. Call in and ask a question. Get a healing. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me if I'm full of crap. Because I won't argue with you. Because I agree to disagree. That's okay. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own medicine. Everybody knows what theirs looks like. Everybody knows, well, you know what mine sounds like, looks like, you know. But back to my friend Angela Jean Hartnett. You know, what a beautiful friend to have in my life. You know, she's a mirror of me. And we met a couple years ago, and interestingly enough, on social media. We met on social media and we became friends once we found each other. She was listening to the medicine that I was teaching, and I was listening to her. We became friends, and I honor her. I honor her. And I know that she honors me because she calls me friend. She tells me that she loves me, and I know that I'm loved and I'm held by that energy because I am. I hope. Because I do the same, and we mirror each other. Do you want to have a mirror in your house that you feel comfortable looking in? You probably have many. And sometimes you don't want to look in the mirror, but look. Don't just look at the superficial. Don't just look at the outsides. Look deep into your eyes. Look deep into your soul. Look deep into your heart. Look deep into your fire. Look deep in. Close your eyes when you're looking and stand in front of the mirror. So you're not distracted by the distractions of the world. Aho. Too tall, too skinny, too dark, too light, too black, too white, too brown. You know, whatever that is. Don't be distracted by that. And you learn to love yourself, you know, as an avatar. Aho. As an avatar. As clear space. As blue light. Aho. As blue water, clear water. Aho. Aho. As a sky during the sunset or the sunrise. You know, learn to see yourself in a different way, in a different light. Stop looking at yourself like television tells you to, like media tells you to. Stop watching that stuff. Stop reading those magazines of you know, how to get your man to give you 10 orgasms. 10 orgasms is great. Guess what? What does that do for your heart? That's for your physical. You know? Do you connect at the soul level? Aho. Because once you connect at the soul level and you're in your energetic body, that sort of stuff, you only need 1 or 2. Maybe 3. You don't need 10. Sorry, Vogue or whoever that writes that kind of stuff, you know. Don't buy that lie. Don't buy that lie. Buy truth. Seek truth, if truth is what you want. And if you're seeking truth and you want to buy truth, look inside. Aho. You first always. Me first always. They tell you on the plane. Southwest will tell you on the plane. You know, and it's not a PSA for Southwest, but you know, when the pressure drops in the cabin and the mask fall from the ceiling, put the mask on yourself first. Because my brothers and sisters in 12-step programs like to say, you can't give away what you haven't got. You just can't. Aho. So, what are you willing to give yourself? And how are you willing to give it? What does Christmas look like to you? Aho. Aho. And I'm going to talk about this that I'm holding in my hand, in my right hand. Aho. I'm going to hold it in my left hand because left hand is divine feminine, divine receiving. Aho. Divine feminine receives. I'm holding the acorn. This is my symbology or my symbol. Symbology? Is that a word? My producer will let me know. I can guarantee it. This acorn will grow and manifest a mighty oak tree. But this acorn will not manifest a mighty oak when it's green, when it falls off the tree. It has to die and dry in and of itself to become what it's going to become. Just like the Christ consciousness, Christ Mass, had to die to become the ascended master. Aho. Aho. Many people claim to follow him, but most don't understand. Aho. That Christ is inside you. The Christ consciousness is inside you. Are you willing to take your hands, your right and your left, and reach inside yourself? Are you willing to take your vibration? Are you willing to close your eyes and go inward and give yourself a consciousness and awaken from your unconsciousness? Because I'm going to tell you and I'm going to warn you, once you become conscious, what happens in the transition and the alchemy and the shape-shifting of your life can sometimes be painful. And it's not fun, but it's necessary if you're willing to stand in the fire. Because iron, to become steel, has to go into the fire. And steel is so much stronger than iron. Aho. So much stronger than iron. Are you willing to walk forward into the fire? Are you willing to ground and send your energy legs down into Mother Earth, Middle Earth, through the layers and layers of those energies, and allow her to connect with you through your feet, through your perineum, through your spine, through your coccyx, aho, onto the superhighway of the energy body, aho, from bottom to top and top to bottom. Are you willing to connect and give that to yourself? Find yourself a yogini who will teach you how to connect through the chakra system, through the kundalini, aho. What I am talking about is the kundalini, is that rising snake. You heard me talk about it earlier. I shed that skin of the old life or the old self. I am here now, aho. And I rise through the kundalini every day, and I understand what that is. And I'm going to tell you something. I did yoga for the first time on Saturday. How about that? And I've been teaching what I've been teaching for about 4 or 5 years now, you know, or maybe longer than that. And then I think that's rather funny and ironic. So 713-955-0332. I want to remind you that you're listening to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. I'm not only here for you, but I want you to know that I am here for me. Aho. Aho. I give myself because I gave myself me. So I give myself to you because I can, because I will, because I do, because I should. Aho. Can you? Will you? Do you? Would you? Should you? Could you? Aho. If you have to ask yourself these things, you aren't. You are not giving yourself to you. Come out of the darkness of your thinking, the stinking thinking of the life that you thought you were having, and come into the lessons that you can learn from that life, I hope, by letting go and letting good, letting go and letting God, I hope, and allowing others to ebb and flow into your life and to allow themselves to be a part of your life and you a part of theirs. Become entwined like a grapevine. Become entwined, you know, and grow, be birthed and then die, and then birthed and die. But while you're birthing and dying through the seasons, you're giving a fruit, you're giving a wine, you're creating something that others are going to enjoy in a different way, I hope. And it's not always how you think it might be or how you feel it might be, because it's different for everybody. Man, you know what? This has been it's interesting that the video portion of this didn't work today. In fact, it will work. In fact, while I was talking, I saw the video come up out of the corner of my eye. I think my producer, Tiffany, was working in the background to kind of check things out. And that's good. That's good. And next week, I'm excited because I'm going to be here and I'm going to be on fire again. Because there's some things that are going to happen between now and then. And I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to share the story. I'm going to write it down, go and tell. Write it down, go. It's biblical. The Bible says, write it down, go and tell. What? Go and tell what? The good news. The good news. What's the good news? That the Christ consciousness is king. The Christ consciousness is here. The star has shown up in the sky, in the northern sky, aho. And for all those who poo-poo, the stargazers, the star followers, those of you who say you follow the Christ consciousness and poo-poo people like that, let me remind you that those who were looking for the Christ consciousness to be born to wherever he was were magi, magic. They were healers. They were doctors. They were scientists. They were readers of the sky. I hope they were magi. It's written in your book. And they call that the book of life. And if that's so, well, then it's so. Who am I to argue with that? It makes me feel good just thinking about it. But that's me. I'm a seer. I'm a seer. I know things because I know them. I know things that people didn't teach me, and I don't understand that, and I don't have to understand it. I just have to say yes, because yes is possible. Yes is okay, I hope. Is it my truth? Yes. Is it my truth? I don't know. Is it my truth? No. Pick one. Yes, it is my truth, and I understand, because I understand the understanding of the understanding, because I say yes to myself. I have stepped through the veil of my understanding. I stepped through the veil of my misunderstanding. I agree to disagree. Not everything is so. And not everything is so. It's all in the intention. And are you willing to set a new intention for yourself? Oh. I got to tell you, today my heart is full, and I'm really feel bad about the folks who have lost their homes and that are running scared. I have a cousin who is in one of those canyons, and I don't know if her home is still there, but I called her first thing and I let her know that, you know, if you need me, I am here. I am not far. I will come and help you with whatever you need. And why would I do that? Because I have nothing to lose by doing that. Do you hear me? I have nothing to lose. You know, I could go to like lunch, or I could go meet somebody or have some coffee with somebody, but those things are not important. What's important is I am present here, right now for myself, which allows me to be right here, right now, and I get to be rooted and fruited, and I get to extend my branches into the heavens as a tree that doesn't have to see itself. I extend my branches into the heavens, and the birds of the air nest in my branches and eat of my fruit. And my understanding of what my fruit is the example of how I got from point A to point B. and how you can too, and you can have a Me Too moment. Aho. You can have a Me Too moment. And you can hold all those who are willing to nest in your branches and feed them, because you are able to feed yourself. I am able to feed myself, excuse me. Aho. That is such a blessing. And I am so blessed to be able to give that, and to be that, and to extend that, and experience that. Aho. On both sides of the spectrum. Aho. I am blessed. Truly, truly blessed. My name's Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and you're listening to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And I believe that I am a gift to life because life is a gift to me. And when I move on from this life, I will do great things in other ways, in other places. Aho. But there are things that I will no longer have to do. You know, there are lessons that I will no longer have to learn because I have learned those lessons. I have taken steps, and I've stepped into the power of what that looks like and what it sounds like and what it is. Aho. Aho. I want to thank everybody who tuned in today. Whether you've been tuning in from the beginning, over a year now we've been doing this show, or whether you're a new listener, you're one of those folks that I met through the pages on Facebook, from Flagstaff to Sedona, and people from Denver and people from California. There's a lot of new people who know me now because I'm willing to open my mouth and vibrate out, aho, and give what it is that I have, because I can. Not because I haven't, because I can. And so can you. Aho. I will ask you to go inside and allow yourself to have that breath fully through your heart space and right into your fire, your fuego. I can, I will, I do. Aho. Give it to yourself. Stoke that fire. Allow it to grow. Allow it to be nurtured. Allow that water, that fire to boil that water, and allow that boiled water to overflow into your root. And allow that steam, that holy vapor to rise. Allow it to rise and warm your heart and open that fifth chakra and allow you to come out of the darkness into the light. Guru, darkness to light. Aho. Aho. I want to thank everybody for coming again. My name's Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and you have been listening to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. Aho. I look forward to seeing you and talking to you next week at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Blog Talk Radio and live on streaming video. We will have it together, and I look forward to seeing you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.